Hey guys, Mark Lyon here, Lion Horses. Today I got a little topic I want to cover, kind of a concept. When I'm doing clinics and talking to people, a lot of times people ask me, which is harder to teach, the horses or the people? And generally it's the people. People are a little harder. And the reason that I think that is it's a little bit more difficult to teach the human because it's more complex what we're teaching them. You know, we're teaching a person how to interact or educate a horse, and some of those concepts are more difficult than what we're teaching the horse. We're teaching a horse how to do something that he already knows how to do. Like he already knows how to walk, trot, lope, stop, back up, turn around. He already knows all those things. All we're doing is teaching him a little cue that means that. And so when you're teaching horses, I tell people teaching horses is a little bit like teaching kindergarten. You're teaching, really, it's like probably kindergarten through first, second grade, somewhere in there. Well, first of all, that's the IQ of the horse, right? The horses aren't complex thinkers. They're reactive. They react to certain situations. And so they generally don't have a complex strategy, right? They don't strategize when we put them in their pen at night, or when they're out in the pasture. They don't go, I'm going to do this, and then they're going to do that, and then I'm going to do this. And so that's not how they think. They react to what happens. So, their logic centers are fairly basic, right? They're not a complex thinker. And humans often overthink things. Like, we're very complex thinkers. So when I teach humans, it's like teaching college. And when I'm teaching horses, it's like teaching preschool. And so they're very different in how we go about teaching them. And I think that's something that, as a clinician, it's hard to go back and forth, right? And so I'm always trying to, when I'm teaching the horse, I'm thinking, a lot of it's really basic principles we're trying to teach. And then when I teach the humans, it's way more complex, right? And then a lot of times humans will overcomplicate it. It's really not that it's really not that tough. Like, make it simpler. So anyway, that's kind of one of those things as we're teaching our horse. Remember, if it's too complicated, the horse isn't going to understand it. So you have to, when you're working with the horse, you have to think about it as teaching a kindergartner or something like that, a first grader. If they can't grasp that concept, then the horse probably isn't going to grasp the concept, right? Because they're kind of both operating on a pretty low logic level. And then with the humans, when you're teaching the humans, you can do that. You can kind of help them understand a little bit higher level of logic. So just remember, when you're working with your horses, make it a little bit more simple. Make that concept easy for them to understand. And then when you're working with humans, remember, they'll tend to overcomplicate things a little bit, and the things we're teaching them are a little bit more advanced. And we're not really born knowing how to ride a horse. It's a skill that we obtain. Horses, they were born knowing how to be a horse, and so it's very much natural for them, and not as natural for us. So it's going to take us a little bit of work, some practice, some education, some experience to get proficient at it. So don't be too hard on yourself, and just keep working at it. Remember, we're all trying to be the person a horse deserves. Catch you next time.